Right. Thanks everyone for your time and patience today for attending the AI Native Workplace 2025 Summit. Uh, my, my name is Samir Makwana. I'm from Canada. I'm a Microsoft certified trainer and a solution architect and a global speaker. There are different technologies I focus on, and Copilot is one of them. And I'm happy to present one of the interesting topic of the day, uh, which is AI-powered project management with the Copilot. Okay, and this is my LinkedIn QR code. Feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions or want to talk about after this event as well. So today's agenda, we're going to talk about what's eating up your day as a project manager. And then after we'll dive into top project manager task. How can we, how can we get help from Microsoft Copilot as a project manager or in general if you're part of any bigger project team, right? And there will be lots of demo. My sessions are mostly demo based, so I would say 80 to 90% will be on the demo. We'll be talking and brainstorming together. And there will be quiz at the end, and there will be quiz in between. I'll keep popping up a few questions throughout the sessions, but there will be quiz at the end. And as Jeff mentioned, there will be a feedback, right? So for the quiz, I use a Slido, and you can use your cell phone to scan a QR code, and that way you're able to engage with the quiz as well, okay? So without further ado, let's move next. So how many, and Jeff, I'm not sure, but can we make this a session interactive? Can you unmute them so that if need to be discussed anything, it will be helpful?
Yeah, no problem. Let me allow the mic.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Wonderful, thanks. All right, so what's eating up your day? That's the biggest question I ask, or that's a question I ask to my clients when I work with them. And what I realize, and the study I went through, as well as I researched on the internet about this. So 40 to 60% of time for project managers on a weekly basis goes on administrative tasks. This is the statistics reveal that project managers spend significant amount of time on repetitive tasks, which can hinder their productivity. And by implementing Copilot for these organizations can elevate their burden, allowing project managers to focus on strategic decision making and value added activities. So without further ado, this is our first question for all of you. And yeah, if you can use your cell phone or go to your desktop from where you're connecting, like slido.com, and enter this number to join this poll and help me answer this question. What tasks eat up a project manager's time but don't truly leverage their expertise? Yeah, I see one participant typing. Thank you. Meeting administration. Spot on. Tracking tasks in Excel. Yeah, for sure. I see 2 people more typing. We'll give 2 more minutes before we move to the next slide. Chasing people. Oh my God. Yeah, definitely. That's one of the one. And communication with vendors for sure. So as we're seeing, there is some common things in this. This is all our administrative task, which you think can be, track. Oh yeah, chasing people, tracking tasks. Exactly. That's what it is. And that's where I have narrowed down a few of the top project manager tasks, which I think, and I talk with many project managers, so I think these are the most common ones. And these are meeting notes, brainstorming ideas, action items, like after meeting, who's gonna do what, right? And chasing them down. And project plans and reports. So these are the 4 items I would think we're gonna focus on today on today's session. And that's where I think project management can be AI powered, and Copilot can really help on that. And as you might know, there are many different flavors of Copilot, and such as Copilot in Teams, Copilot in Whiteboard, and Copilot in Planner. How many of you know there is a Copilot in Whiteboard? You can raise hands or just show up. Yeah, yeah, great, awesome. Yeah. So Copilot in Planner, it's again Copilot in Planner and Copilot in Whiteboard, that's again a game changer if you look at. So what we're gonna do today, we're gonna start empowering each of these tools with using a Copilot, and we're gonna leverage Teams meeting to initiate one project while we are talking over here, right? We're gonna initiate that project with the Teams meeting call, and then we're gonna transition that project to the brainstorming session where we say, okay, project has initiated, what we're gonna do about it. Let's talk about the majority of tasks we're gonna do in this project and so on. So we'll be whiteboarding that. And then we're gonna transition those brainstorming ideas into the planner to put it in a task list or a plan. And in a planner, we're gonna leverage 2 things there. One, the premium feature where we can ask Copilot to build a plan for us, and the other one is the project manager agent. I'm not sure if you heard about it or not, but it's very cool to have a project manager agent within a planner to help you assist with your task, and you'll see that in the demo as well. Okay. So what is Copilot in Teams? So Copilot in Teams can help you build Copilot in Meetings, which helps you take a transcription of your meetings and convert it into different notes, tasks, and many more, right? You can ask many questions to it. You can go ahead and say that what are the things has been discussed so far. So let's say, how many of you have thought, okay, I'll join meeting late and I need to know what has been discussed and someone has to fill you in, right? So that's a common use case most of the time we face. So having a Copilot can also help you see what has been discussed throughout the meeting, at the end of the meeting, but also during the meeting as well. And also it can do really cool stuff, and we'll jump on the demo and I'll show you right away, okay? But before we do that, let's talk about what are the license and the prerequisites and the key prompts, right? So we need Microsoft 365 Copilot license for sure. On top of it, what you need is E3, E5, or business standard or premium license to enable the Teams itself. And prerequisites, I would say once you have a Copilot license in your Teams, you'll see the Teams Copilot feature is enabled in your Teams meeting. You just need to make sure to leverage your Copilot. You need to enable transcript for that meeting if you are a presenter or organizer, so that whoever having a Copilot license can leverage that transcript. So being a transcript, it's not being the recording audio and video, just enabling a transcript. It's a bare minimum thing you need to do, right? And here are some key prompts. So meeting recap, list action item, main ideas discussed, generate meeting notes, list question unsolved, or suggest follow-up and questions. And we're gonna look at most of them in today's demo. So let's jump on a demo. It's time for demo. And I'm switching the screen for you. Let me know when you see it. All right. So here we have two screen in parallel. One on the left-hand side is the screen for the manager, project manager, who's going to initiate the meeting. So I have a meeting here, right here, right? I'm going to join that meeting. I'm going to make sure I'm not creating an echo. So I'm going to join that. Let me know if you're hearing an echo. And I'm going to let other team member to join that. Consider there are many team members going to join, right? So I join there as well. Continue without audio video because I don't want to create any echo in our call, right? So now, but now look at here. Right now, there's nothing is showed up here. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to see there is option. Yeah. So if you see here, there's an option for Copilot, open Copilot. But as soon as I click on it, it will ask me to, you need to start a transcription to use a Copilot. And I'm going to turn it on. And as soon as I click on that, it's let everyone know that someone has, let me join here as well. Okay, I'm going to leave. I'm going to leave from here so that we don't have any echo. But yeah, so as soon as you see, there is a privacy message saying that we will turn off all other mics and camera and content sharing until all of you agree to join this audio, video, or transcription using Copilot, right? So I click on continue, and then it's asking us to decide what's correct language for the like spoken language in this call so that they can do the transcription. So I say English for now, but there are many languages there. So now, as you can see, transcription has started. And if I go here and if I see show transcript, so it's going to start transcription here. So let's discuss as a team, for example, how we're going to transfer the project initiation meeting. So let's discuss a scenario in today's call. Let's discuss a scenario where today we have a company call. Nordea Bank. Nordea Bank reached out to us and they wanted to implement Copilot in their organization. And this is the meeting for project initiation to discuss what we're going to do throughout the project. So we need to talk about who's going to do what, when, and what are the tasks. So tasks are for identifying stakeholders, identifying the initial pilot group, defining a project task list, communication strategy, licensing, cost, as well as we need to prepare a test plan. So let me give a name of a few of them who are going to do what, right? So if I look at your names, so let's say Jeff will help me identifying who's going to provide the licensing. Vesku will help me identifying who will be the stakeholders for this project. John will help me identifying or preparing a communication for this project. Sridhar will help me build this Copilot for the POC, or I would say group of users who are going to start testing this. We have, who else? Maya. Maya will help me prepare all the meetings as well as define the project task and so on, right? And eventually we'll have a brainstorming session coming up where we're going to do all the whiteboarding, right? So let's say consider I joined late in this meeting, right? And now I would like to know what has been discussed so far. Consider I'm one of the attendees of this meeting. I was ran by another meeting and it took long for me to join here. So I'm going to ask what has been discussed so far. I'm going to say, yeah. I'm going to maximize this so you can see that. I hope that is still visible. Yeah. So meeting is still going on, and you can see what has been discussed is project initiation for Nordea Bank, task assignments, and brainstorming session. That has been discussed so far. Let me ask, list all tasks assigned to each team member. Let's see if it pulls all the names from the transcript. So you can say Jeff, Vesku, John, Sridhar, Maya, and they all gonna help me build this. We're gonna work as a team, and this all task will be assigned to them. Eventually, when I'll end this meeting, there will be a recap and the summary will be generated out of this as well, and that will be helpful. So let's end this meeting and see how it reacts. So as soon as I leave the meeting, if I go to my chat, right now, this is the old test meeting I joined, so don't look at this. There will be another meeting. View recap. No, I think, let's see. Let me click on recap and see if it shows up anything. Yeah. AI notes, transcript. No, this is the previous one. But yeah, it shows the who gonna do what, governance, user adoption, training, and workshop. And I'm just waiting for that meeting in meet. Oh yeah. Oh, here we go. It's generating AI content. Let's check. So if I look at the transcript, whatever we discuss, it's here. It's gonna generate the AI notes out of it. So considering I'm a project manager, and at the end of the meeting, I need to prepare a meeting notes and send it to everyone. I can come here, I can open up a Copilot. I can ask, prepare summary of this meeting to share with all the attendees. And as you can see, it's generating those notes for me. It's saying project initiation for Nordea Bank, task assignment, planning, upcoming brainstorming session, and everything. And there is a copy button here. I can copy paste this and send it across, as well as there is a option for share to Outlook. So if I click on share to Outlook, it's gonna pop up an Outlook here. Let's see. Yeah. So as you can see, it has generated meeting notes with all the details. However, this is AI generated, so there are some typo based on who's speaking and what pronunciation they are using and what language it is, right? So it's always good to go through it before we send it to all the attendees, right? So for example, it pronounced it incorrectly. It's Vesku, right? You can see that. But yeah, overall it looks good. So I'll just send it to whoever the attendees were, and we should be good, right? So this is how you look and use. And I showed you very high level usage of Copilot in Teams meeting. You can do many more by using different prompts. You can click here, and there are different prompts available for you to use. At the same time, you can go ahead and try different prompts and see how it looks to you, okay? But for now, what we're gonna do, we're gonna copy this content and we're gonna keep it handy because eventually we're gonna use it for the next demo, all right? So let's go back to our presentation and see what is next. So Copilot in Whiteboard, that's again a cool feature in Whiteboard we can leverage. So what are the key features for that? So brainstorming assistance, it helps structure ideas into visual layout. That's what Copilot do. But Copilot in Whiteboard will the content which we copied, we're gonna use that in a whiteboard, and it will convert that in a specific sticky notes for us, and we're gonna use that sticky notes to put some more tasks within that will help us transition into a more detailed plan for us in the planner. So brainstorming assistant, Kanban timelines, summarization, and collaboration tool. So there will be a summary generated at the end of the whiteboard within the loop component, which you can share with many different tools like email or Teams, so that other can collaborate on that loop component as well, which I'm going to show you in the demo. And the license part. So you required Microsoft 365 Copilot license on top of your E3, E5, your business standard or premium license you have. So it's basically once you have Microsoft 365 license, Copilot license, you'll have Copilot for Teams, Copilot for Whiteboard, Copilot for Planner, but Planner required one more uh, uh, license, which we're going to talk next, but let's continue with the Copilot in Whiteboard. So it's time for demo. As I promised earlier, it will be more demo, less talking through the PPT. So I'm jumping on the demo now. I'm going to switch to Microsoft Whiteboard. I hope you're able to see it. So let's create a new whiteboard. Think about the scenario that project initiation meeting is done, and we transition into project brainstorming session where all the key people are in, and we are planning to start talking about different things, but we don't know where to start. So we're going to ask Copilot, suggest idea and content based on what the project initiation meeting has summary, right? So this was the summary, and I'm going to use that to generate some suggestions. Let's see. So there is a limitation, which I'm going to talk about. Um, every time you use Copilot in Whiteboard to suggest content for you, right? It only creates 6 sticky notes. Always 6 for now. I don't know if it's going to change in the future or not, but for now, it's always create 6. So what happens, let's say if you want to create more, you need to select specific topic. So for example, identifying key stakeholder, right? You select the topic and you click on suggest, and it's going to create 6 more for you out of that identifying stakeholders, right? And it's going to look like this. And also, let's create something for test plan. So let's suggest and see how it looks. 6 more here, right? Communication strategy. This is again important one. So I'm going to click on next. So if you look at within a few minutes using Copilot in Whiteboard, we have so many sticky notes, and each of them can be filled in detail by different group of users working together online, virtually, or on site using the whiteboard on Surface, right? We put more detail here, uh, define Copilot implementation objectives. Copilot needs to be rolled out to different business user groups to pilot the features and security and privacy. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna create something out of this. Let's say what it says. We're gonna create something more. So I'm going to remove the one which I don't need, and I'm going to keep only the one which I required. So for example, I'm going to monitor pilot usage of metrics as well as the privacy. The rest of the ones I removed. And I have all those things as created. And now is the time which I'm going to zoom out. I'm going to zoom out here and I'm going to select all of them together. Consider the project brainstorming session has been completed. Now I want to categorize them in a different buckets so that I know what are the different buckets of this discussion. And it's going to categorizing all the notes for us. So as you can see, for the project planning, these are the sticky notes, testing and feedback. These are the sticky notes, stakeholder management, and communication strategy. I'm going to say keep it. It's perfect. And now if I go and select them again, and I'm going to say Copilot, summarize the note content. So all the sticky note content, consider each of the sticky notes having more data within it. And if you need to do a manual work to take those notes out of that and summarize it, it's going to take forever, right? And this is where Copilot in Whiteboard can helpful. As you can see, it has summarized whatever the sticky notes are. It has summarized them in a very good format. And as you can see, it's also in a loop component. So basically, you can copy the loop component and put it in a Teams chat back to the group here. Consider there's a chat going on within that group, right? And I just pasted the loop component. So now all of those group members have access to that loop component. Okay. And then after I'm going to copy this content, right? And I'm going to leverage into the next demo, which is for Planner. But before we do that, let's jump on to our presentation to see what is next. So next is Copilot in Microsoft Planner, which was in preview. I'm not sure it came in a GA or not, but please check because when I built this slide, it was in preview. So key features. So task automation, portfolio and milestone. You can define AI-powered planning and project manager agent. So task automation, you can ask Copilot to create a task for you or goals based on your project needs. Also, portfolio and milestone, you can help track multiple plans within unified timeline. But that doesn't mean Copilot can work on multiple plans together. It will be one at a time, right? You cannot ask Copilot to, okay, go ahead and move tasks from one plan to another, right? Or you cannot ask Copilot to create same project plan in a two plan together, right? But you can work on one project plan at a time with the Copilot in Microsoft Planner. It will be a structured breakdown for sure. And my favorite is the project manager agent. So we're going to show it in a demo as well. But most importantly, project manager agent is like an assistant to you as a project manager assistant, where if you have any questions or any task which you cannot assign to anyone else, let's say find out based on the documentation we have in the organization, find out what is the project management standards in the organization, right? And so on, and summarize them for me, and so on. So those are the tasks which you cannot assign to technical team, or there is no BA available on that day, and you just want someone to do it for you. Those research activity can be done through project manager agent. So it's actually an agent available within a planner. You can drag and drop your task, assign it to that agent, and agent will do the work for you. Okay. So license, planner, project plan 3 or 5. you need a premium license to have Copilot in Microsoft Planner with the agent feature available, along with that Microsoft 365 Copilot license you need. The important prompts are, if you want to create something, create plan, task, goals, or bucket, you can do that. The same way, if you want to understand what are the high priority tasks, who is working on what, so on, you can also do that. It will give you a good summary. And you can add subtasks, you can connect tasks to the goals, and you can delete them as well. And at the end, you can ask, what are some of the ways to do this, or best practices? Again, that goes back to that Copilot, project manager for agent. Yeah. So without delay, let's jump on a demo again. And where is my planner? It says my session is expired. Let me refresh. I hope it popped up. I hope you're able to see it. So we're gonna create a new plan. And so this is a planner I open up within the Teams, and I went and said, okay, create a new plan for me. And there are a few more options, as you can see, plan or portfolio. You might have multi-plans within one portfolio, but today we're gonna create a new plan, and it says plan with a project manager, AI assisted planning and execution. And there's a premium features where there are default templates available. You can use that too. We're going to use plan with project managers to help us build something, right? Let's click on that. We're going to say Copilot adoption at, my apology, Copilot adoption at the bank. And I'm going to assign it to myself. I'm going to say create, and it's creating the plan, right? However, there's nothing listed here which you're going to help. So what we're going to do, we're going to go to this guy. We're going to say create, build the plan for, and I copy paste everything which we discussed in a brainstorming session in a Copilot for Whiteboard, right? And I'm going to add some more stuff saying build a plan for Copilot implementation and adoption at Nordea Bank with the following notes, right? I'm gonna click on next. Let's see what it does. Interesting. Wow. It has created only one, which is funny. Right, and that's again, it's a preview right now, so you might want to go back and build something new. So let's try again. Right. Let's try with this guy. So I'm saying create a task for Copilot adoption project at Nordea Bank using summary below. I hope it will do something this time. Manage the content. Okay, this is good. See. And this is where your prompts are very important. How you put your prompts, how you treat those things and stuff. Now you can see the same way which we did before, but I just type it manually and adjusted the prompt a bit, nothing much. But now as you can see, it has created different plans for me. And if I go to the board, there are different tasks created here, like define project implementation, outline project scope for Copilot, assess potential risk associated with implementation, determine success criteria for Copilot adoption, and so on, right? But let's say, for example, I don't know where to start for each of these tasks. And for example, outline project scope for Copilot adoption, right? And I need some help to start with. So what I can do, I can move that bucket and assign it to the project manager agent. And as you can see, it has started working on it, right? And in some time, it will process that task and it will tell us in detail here what has been found or what has been researched and prepared as a summary for us for that specific task. And while it's doing it, let's assign this task. No, not this one. While it's working on it, let's assign some of this task to, let's see if Copilot can assign it. Assign, create different buckets based on, let's say if it does this. I never tried this, but it's worth trying. Create different buckets based on different task categories. Let's see if it's a typo, but let's see if it picks up and creates some different buckets for us. Let's see if it's really created something. I don't know. It hasn't, and it says it's created different buckets, which is weird. That's fine. Let's come back to this. So I assign a task to project manager planner, and as you can see, it has created a project scope outline for me. Executive summary, purpose, objective, in-scope activities like project planning, project pilot, stakeholder, documentation, out-of-scope activities, deliverables, timelines, success criteria, and everything, right? And this is within few minutes. And I can use this as a template and I can adjust the content and use it further if I need to. But this is where it starts everything. Now, if I go back here and ask, let's see, let's try again. It doesn't listen in first time, so we are pushing it to do it in, okay. Let's see. Let's see what it does. I'm just wondering, where are those buckets? It says it's buckets, but I don't see them. All right. Oh yeah, it has those buckets, right? Okay, let me ask move task from bucket 1 to different buckets based on their types. Let's see if it does that. I'll be impressed if it does that. Oh, this is not good. It's funny. It's providing a summary, but it's not actually moving it, but that's okay. So we can move the task in between, right? We can assign it to different people manually, and then eventually we can. Oh yeah, it says, would you like me to proceed with move this task to the respective buckets as suggested? Wow, okay. This is cool. Let's see if it works. Oh wow, look at that. Yeah, this is great. And look at that, it has moved everything in appropriate like buckets. And now we have those buckets, but let's prepare a summary of tasks which are complete or not in progress. Let's see what it does. Give me a status report for this plan. Let's see if it generates a status report for us. And some of these prompts are worked sometimes and sometimes doesn't. But if you can see here, it has created a summary of tasks, the tasks which are completed, what are the buckets, how much duration we have, and what tasks are completed, what not started, what's are in progress, and so on, right? So even though we completed a task, it doesn't consider as completed because it's ready for review. It's it's not completed, but it's ready for review. So that's why once we move that to the there is a bucket called ready for review. When we say uh, ready for review and done. Wow, okay. I thought there was an option here to complete it, but yeah, that's fine. So this is a Copilot in Planner. Let's go back to the slides, and it's time for a quiz because we have only a few minutes left. So if you can, again, go back to your mobile devices or go back to your desktop where you can open up slido.com, or you can scan this QR code and we'll initiate the quiz. Senna, yeah, thanks for joining. Okay, all right. I think it will. Oh, okay, Matt, thank you. Jeff, yeah, thanks. Rin, Shibu. Let's give a minute before we kick off the quiz. All right, let's do it. Think we have time left. Okay, so here's the first question. What is one key function of Copilot in Microsoft Teams out of these four? All right. It summarizes the discussion and suggests follow-up. Copilot in Outlook might help schedule the meetings, but Copilot in Teams, and I tried and it failed for me. So I'm not sure if that works for you, but give a try and see. Which of this is something Copilot in Teams cannot currently do? Okay. This is again a tricky one, but let's see. Okay. Change the meeting organizer. So the third one can be, I would say, automated. It's not directly available. So the third one also the correct answer. And my apology, these questions and answer was created by Copilot when I started this session. So next time I should give a more precise prompt to get more precise question and answer. But yeah, the next one. In Whiteboard, after a brainstorming session with the sticky notes, Copilot can, I repeat, in Whiteboard, after a brainstorming session with the sticky notes, Copilot can. All right, so this is the correct answer. And why? Because there is no direct option to, you can click and turn them in a planner task. You need to manually copy and paste it in a planner, and then it will process it for you. And merge them into Outlook calendar events. Again, it's not a direct task. You need to copy that component and put it into the Outlook, right? But summarize them in a loop component. That's one click thing. You just click on the summarize and it will summarize for you. The next question, you give planners Copilot a one-line project brief. Launch a new website in 90 days. What will it do first? Exactly. Create structured task list and timeline. Perfect. The next one, Copilot in Planner will not one of this. If you have paid attention, I mentioned on one of the section what it can and what it cannot do. All right, and this is the correct answer. We can update the task deadline, suggest the task owner based on workload, but merge two separate plans in one, like two separate project plans in one, it's not possible right now, at least. The project manager agent in the planner can. It's pretty simple. I hope everyone gets it. Let's see. Convert whiteboard to sticky notes into the planner. So that's the correct answer. Delete duplicate task. It's possible, but not without asking. So it's not like automated where there is a duplicate task there and it will suggest you that can I delete it on my own, right? So, and Power BI data refresh, that's again not a thing it does. So it's a maybe Copilot in Power BI. Yeah. So Copilot in Teams requires both transcription and recording to provide meeting insight. Is it a true or false statement? Copilot in Teams requires both transcription and recording to provide meeting insights. Exactly, it's a false. We just need transcription. We don't need recording of audio video, right? So when you use Microsoft Copilot in Teams meetings, just enable transcription and you are good to go. Awesome. We have the winner, Marian, and thanks a lot, Matt, Jeff, Sana, and Shibu for participating in this quiz. Just last word cloud question for all of you. What is the biggest task you want Copilot to make easier for you? Just in general, not only as a project manager, so that this can go back to the feedback section and help Microsoft add more prompts and more capabilities to those agents, right? To do things for me, actions, suggest things based on my work. Okay. I see 2 more people participating. Let's see what else comes up. Tracking the task. Yes, I had a short time, but yes, it do task tracking as well. So you can go and say how many of tasks are completed, who is the task owner, or do my expenses. That's cool. Yeah, nagging. But yeah, so Copilot do task tracking, and it's really cool. It really helps increase critical thinking of all participants. Yeah, makes sense. All right. So these are some of the upcoming events I'll be speaking. Some of them are US and Canada. And if you are around, I'm happy to see you there. There's one online event there as well, Data Popcorn Crunch. It's also a cool event. Happy to join. Um, yeah, rate my session and calls to action. Please provide your feedback so that it helps me and also the organizer to adjust the plan and prepare more sessions like this in the future.
Thank you,
And
Samir.
thank you so much for joining me today. Any questions for me? I'll be happy to answer.